ladies and gentlemen, friends and champions of freedom and peace. It is a pleasure to be with you this evening to discuss a vision close to my heart and one coming closer and closer to becoming a reality, the Cyrus Accords. The reign Cyrus reminds us of a deeper truth, that the relationship between the Iranian and the Jewish peoples is not a matter of modern diplomacy or fitting politics. It is rooted in history and one that is ancient, proud, and unique. Over 2,500 years ago, it was Cyrus the Great, the Iranian king, who freed the Jewish people from captivity and allowed them to return to their homeland and rebuild their temple. That was not just an act of tolerance. It was an affirmation of religious freedom and human dignity. It set the standard for what just leadership should be like. And it defined the values of the Iranian nation, built not on conquest, but on coexistence. Few nations in the world have such a shared story of ancient respect and modern solidarity. And few peoples understand so well the cost of tyranny and the value of freedom. Let me say this clearly. The Iranian people do not seek enmity with Israel or with any of our neighbors. The Iranian nation seeks peace, real, durable peace, with the region and with the world. There is one actor, one evil force standing in the way of that peace. It is not our nation that is making war, exporting terror, and destabilizing the region. It is an occupying regime, a violent theocracy that has no legitimate claim to speak for our people. For over 4 decades, the Islamic Republic has hijacked the identity of Iran, using our name and our resources not to serve our people, but to spread hatred and division. This regime does not represent the soul of our nation. It does not represent the legacy of Cyrus. It does not represent the future of Iran. The Iranian people are rising up, not because someone asked them to, but because it is in their national interest and in their national character to fight for freedom. They are not waiting for permission. They are not begging for handouts. They are not passive players in someone else's geopolitical game. This is our movement. This is our fight. And it is our destiny to determine. Iran will not be written in Vienna, Rome, or Muscat. It has been written in the streets of Tehran and the four corners of Iran. Whether the world helps or not, we will continue. Whether the world helps or not, we will continue. Whether governments lend support or turn a blind eye, the people of Iran will keep fighting, and I am confident that they will win. But if you continue all of the cheering, you'll probably have to stay here for breakfast.
Love you.
But there's a choice before the world, a moral and strategic choice. You can help hasten that victory by standing with the people of Iran, or you can prolong our suffering by continuing to empower their oppressors. The single greatest gift the world can give the Iranian people right now is to stop helping the regime, stop legitimizing it, stop funding it, stop negotiating with it as if it were a normal government. Not for our sake, but for your own. Because there is no deal that can solve the nuclear crisis, or the regime's terrorism, or its missile program, or its hostage-taking, or the economic despair it has created. No deal except the deal with the real Iran. Represented by its people, not by the thought illegitimately holding on to power by a thread.
Yes, sir.
Real peace, real prosperity, and real regional stability begins with the new Iran, an Iran free from this regime. But let me be clear. Our revolution is not a return to the past. It is a renewal of our true national ethos. We are not just saying no to the Islamic Republic. I am stepping forward with a vision for a democratic and prosperous Iran, and a clear plan to achieve it. At the core of my compatriots, I'm stepping forward to lead this movement and this transition. I am doing this with a team of men and women from different backgrounds, ideologies, and experiences. A diverse group of people with the skills to reclaim and rebuild our nation. I am proud to work with each of them, and we hope you will join us. In recent weeks, my team and I have unveiled the Iran Prosperity Project, a comprehensive framework for the political transition and the economic reconstruction of a free Iran. This is not a dream, nor just a vision. It is a plan, concrete, serious, and built by experts from inside and outside of Iran. We are outlining exactly how to stabilize our economy, rebuild our institutions, and restore public trust. Because we are not only clear in the terror, corruption, and the repression we want to tear down, we are clear in what we intend to rebuild, our nation. And in this national effort, every Iranian has a place. While the fight to reclaim and rebuild Iran is ours, an Iranian fight that Iranians must win, the Iran we seek will not just benefit us, but all of humanity. So we ask all of you to join us in this effort, not as charity, but as an investment in a more peaceful and prosperous Middle East. We are already beginning to walk that path together, but we must remain vigilant. Those who seek to prevent us from achieving this peace and prosperity, those my late father so presciently termed the unholy alliance of the red and the black, the communists and the Islamists, are not letting go without a fight. Just last week, that alliance murdered 2 more innocent souls on the streets of Washington, D.C.
Shame!
Yaron and Sarah, Yaron, a diplomat at the Israeli embassy, came to Mufti's Iran conference last year and later posted online how proud he was to stand with the brave people of Iran. Now Yaron and Sarah are in heaven with Puya and Nika, and Nadim and Hadisi, and so many more of our brave young people. Today, I promise each of them that we will continue the fight in honor of their blessed memory. I promise them we will fight until we win. Let tonight be the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where the ancient friendship between our people become a foundation for a new alliance of free nations. A chapter where Iranians and Israelis and all people of the region can build together, trade together, innovate together, and live in peace. Let us reclaim the legacy of Cyrus, not only in memory, but in action. Thank you so much.